Hey everybody, this is SWChris. I am from SW City, and welcome to the Thursday evening vlog. Today we're going to be talking about E3 and Nintendo's affiliate program again. Reggie dropped some hints on IGN Live and in a few other venues, so we're going to talk about that and what that might mean, and follow up on my vlog from last week. But first I want to tell you about my trip to the USS Spruance. So they were docked in Portland last weekend for some kind of festival. I don't really pay attention to the Portland events, but they were there and giving tours and things like that. And my buddy Griffin was on that ship, and we had never met. He's actually an old buddy from SW City, and so we had never met in person. It was just online, and we're Facebook friends and things like that. So I figured I would, even though I had a cold, take him up on the opportunity to meet and get to know the guy, and really enjoyed my time with him. It's kind of interesting. Let me tell you really quick. We met up for dinner, lunch, had trouble because the parking garage I wanted to go to was closed, and so I had to scramble and find a new one. But when does anyone want to go? Yes, okay, so we had lunch. It was a nice lunch. I didn't really care for the burger. We went to Rock Bottom Brewery. Great brews, okay food. I think it was because it was on a pretzel bun, and I don't really like those. So the burger is fine if you like the pretzel buns. Go ahead and eat away. But it wasn't my thing. And then he asked if I wanted to tour the Spruance, and let me tell you, that was a treat. I will, if I am able to, show you a picture right now of the ship. From the ship, I took this picture from the bow of the ship, and you can see the big gun right there. We actually got to go down into the fire control room of that huge gun, and that's not an area they normally let you have visitors with. They don't allow visitors down there because obviously it's an operations room, and they don't just want anybody to have access, and it's not easily accessible. They had live ammunition in there, and so obviously you don't want the kiddies messing with it, but it was really kind of neat to see that, because Griffin's a fire controlman, so that was his station. I got to see where he did his drills every day, and where he would normally operate the thing if push came to shove and they had to actually do that. And I did not get to see I don't know if you call it the CIC. It's a room that's in the middle of the ship that does not have outward-facing windows, but it's seriously got blue neon lights from what he described, and computer consoles, and looks like the battle bridge from Enterprise, or yesterday's Enterprise. I think it was the episode of The Next Generation where they had the alternate future. And it looked kind of like that is what he described it as, without really invoking the Star Trek thing. And I really would have killed to see that, but they don't let anybody in there without security clearance. So obviously, wasn't going to happen. But yeah, I had a wonderful time on that. And so, getting to know Griff, he really kind of struck me differently than what I was expecting. I was expecting the person you see on Facebook, which is the party dude, the guy living it up, going to parties when he's on the shore, bombastic, loud, free with his opinions, that kind of thing. And that's really not who I met. I met a guy who was normal in every sense of the word. Somewhat reserved, actually kind of like me, really, in that respect. In real life, I am actually kind of dry here, but I think I'm more reserved in real life when I'm not on the spotlight, and that's kind of how he came across to me, which is not. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that made me think about not how our perceptions of other people are different, but actually how we caricature ourselves online. I think we all do that to some extent. because we all have a perception of who we are, and we take those things and we play them up. On Facebook, I'm overly morose and serious. And in Minecraft, I'm a little more outgoing and bombastic and trying to be entertaining. And those are all aspects of me that I caricature, that I kind of blow up and make bigger than they are in real life. So it's kind of interesting that I realized that about myself, and I figured, wow, that's probably what Griffin does on Facebook. You know, he probably blows up the party animal side of him and makes that kind of the primary focus in his online activities, because that's kind of, I don't know, I'm not going to put thoughts into his mouth, but in when I'm talking about Facebook or Minecraft, I kind of perceived myself to be kind of the uber serious, thoughtful person. And in Minecraft, I perceive myself to be a little more fun-loving, because I don't like the uber serious, thoughtful person sometimes. And so I play up that side of myself instead for my gaming stuff. And although sometimes I'm uber serious and thoughtful in my vlogs, you can kind of see that there's kind of different tones there, you know. And I think maybe that's what Griffin's doing. Maybe that's what we all do. And I'm kind of curious, is that what you guys think? Do you guys kind of see that about yourselves? Are you taking an aspect of your personality that you value, or that you, or maybe even don't value? Maybe you don't value it and you want to be that, or you don't want to be that, but you find yourself expressing that and caricaturing that online. You know, do you guys do that with yourselves? I know I do. So that's kind of something I'm curious about. The other thing was E3 is wrapping up as I speak on the drive home. Saw some indie games I'm really looking forward to. I want to play No Man's Sky. That's kind of a procedurally generated exploration game where you land on planets and you explore strange new worlds and discover new life. But you can also fly into space over the course of a few seconds, seamlessly into space, and take on bad guys and explore asteroid fields and go into hyperspace and all that cool stuff. And that sounds like a really awesome game, and I want to LP that. And I think it's coming to PC, but I'm not sure. There were a couple others. Valiant Hearts, which is this World War II side-scroller thing, which came with this really heart-wrenching emotional trailer. Definitely LPing that thing when it comes out. I think it's in August. There are a couple others. Smash looks interesting, but not really. I'm not a fighting game type person. Plus, it's a first-party Nintendo IP, and so I probably can't LP that anyway. I'm probably going to skip buying it, to be honest. Just ain't my thing. Because Nintendo's been claiming my Mario Kart videos, and why would I LP something that I can't, make money off of? And I'm definitely not going to develop an audience on something I can't monetize. I'm sorry, guys. It's just, I don't do this for free. It's just not how we work here in this world, and the goal here is to be professional LPers and vloggers and things like that. So we're going to move on to the affiliate program. So the affiliate program, Reggie dropped a few extra hints on IGN about kind of how it would be structured. He didn't say a lot. A lot of this is reading between the lines. But early on, in the same interview with IGN, he did say about independent developers that they were interested in welcoming new indie devs to the platform. They wanted to do business with them. They wanted to license their IP characters, Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda, to indie devs. And that's kind of cool, isn't it? And as long as they thought that would add value to the Nintendo brand, Reggie said they were open to that. And later on, when Jose asked them, Jose Otero is the IGN guy for Nintendo, the Nintendo guy for IGN, and he asked Reggie what they were doing with the affiliate program. Well, Reggie said they didn't have anything to announce, but that basically what they were wanting to do was to basically do what they did with Mega 64 and the Reggie Fils-Aime video. I don't know if you guys seen that, but Google Fils-Aime, F-I-L-S A and then M-A-M-E-C-H, mech, and you'll probably find it on YouTube. But they wanted to do more stuff like that with other YouTube channels. And doesn't that sound like a lot like what I was talking about last time about Nintendo not just taking a cut of your profit, but also giving you something in return? Doesn't that sound like it? They wanted to do that. They wanted to give YouTubers access to the building, the IP, similar to the indie devs, and they wanted to give you access to new information and content, so maybe exclusive information, maybe Treehouse staff and things like that. And then they also decided, I'm gonna go around the block, why not? Because I am still talking, and so we're gonna keep driving. Seriously, guys, I mean, these vlogs, they're not long enough sometimes. But where was I? I was talking about, oh yeah, Reggie wanting to license IP and to give access to the buildings and executives like Reggie and maybe Wappa, I don't know. Bill Trennan probably, at least. He's like, oh, you can't have Miyamoto? I'll take Bill. Why not? Turning right. And so that's really cool. I mean, licensing music, okay, awesome, sign me up, I'll take you. I only have 300 subscribers, but please, you know. And that's cool that they're actually kind of going into what I was suggesting last week about for their affiliate program. Awesome, let's do it. Big problem, I only have 300 subscribers. And it sounds like what they're doing is reading between the lines again, sounds like they're doing a modified multi-channel network type thing, where you sign up with them and they'll take a cut of your profits for the Nintendo videos at least, but they'll also give you access to all that cool, awesome, cool stuff. However, since Reggie specifically mentioned access to executives and to the Nintendo building, that definitely implies that they're only looking for large YouTubers with big audiences. So my concern is the program is going to create an environment of haves and have-nots. Oh, you love Nintendo, you want to promote our products? Too bad, you can't do that because you're not big enough. And you won't get big enough by doing Nintendo projects with us, because we're going to claim your videos. And you won't profit, you won't make any money off of them. That's my fear, okay? I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's my fear. But here's what they can do to kind of fix that. They can introduce a tiered system. And they could do the general. It's kind of like what the MCNs used to do, and maybe it's what some of them do now, is they introduce a tiered system, okay? So, yeah, they still take a cut of your profits, but they let you in, even if you only have 300 subscribers like me, you know. But maybe they'll give you access to a lower tier of perks, like the music library. Please, I'll take the music library. I would like to have the music library. Access to the games, okay, but as long as I have access to the music library, I'll take that. And then they reserve, obviously, access to executives in the building, to the larger YouTubers that would attract, you know, that would make the executives' time and Nintendo's time worth it to rent out the building and the staff and the manpower and you know, the cost that all those things involve to shoot videos there. So I think what they're doing, if I'm reading between the lines, just to sum up, is they're doing a modified multi-channel network. They are possibly going to tier it into a lower tier for the rest of us who are too small to be able to monetize, be able to, you know, attract the kind of attention that they need for their brand. And then a larger tier that'll have access, building access, exclusive information, things like that. for the larger channels that will give you give Nintendo kind of the PR bang for its buck that it's looking for in doing the YouTube thing. Okay, so they're kind of looking for a win-win scenario, just like they're looking for a win-win scenario with the indie studios and licensing IP to them. So, you know, I'm actually kind of hopeful that this is what's going to happen. Maybe they are more forward-thinking than I was giving them credit for. I still would rather that they be able to let people just have access to the footage and be able to commentate on games. Maybe not cinematics, fine, whatever. But be able to do that and still fully monetize the videos, because then that'll give the rest of us, our small guys, kind of a fighting chance to work our way up to that affiliate tier where we can have the audience that's big enough to warrant attention from Nintendo and to get access to the building and the executives and so on and so forth. Because otherwise what's going to happen is if they just offer the low tier and they don't give us anything extra, we're just not going to LP the Nintendo videos because it's not worth it. I mean, you're going to build an audience and you only get 20% of the revenue, 30% of the revenue from the ad sales, rather than the 45% that Google gives you. Yeah, it's a really hard sell to spend our time on that, you know? So, that's my thoughts, and let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think about that kind of MCN? Would that be something that would work for you if you were on the lower tier? As long as you got to produce Nintendo videos, what else extra would you need to sign up for that? And what are the profit splits, do you think? I mean, if you want to get that geeky in detail about it. That's for other YouTubers, obviously. So, a lot of inside baseball in this vlog, but, you know, a lot of people who watch these are YouTubers anyway, so I think it works. Anyway, I'm going to say good night, and I'll see you next week. This is SWChris. Auf Wiedersehen, arrivederci, hasta la vista, goodbye.